You know, I was thinking about something earlier that I hadn't anticipated in regards to there's a disconnect between mainstream media and social media. And it makes a lot of sense if you're working for a private business, because your job in that sense is to always get a camera in these individuals' faces. Like, it's got to get a bit tedious and monotonous dealing with the same people from these, like, whether it be the camera guy or you know, setting up to get your picture in that sense. They have to portray it a certain way to them. It's not like, it's like your new best friend, but they're so pretentious and disingenuous. Okay. It's just the nature of the beast, but you have to be, in a way, because you have to put the people that you're filming at ease. If you're going to get any kind of shot, you're not going to want to disturb them too much. You wouldn't have a job very long. So when you go in there and you see these reporters say all of these negative things about the things that are talked about online and seemingly take the side of the suspects in that sense, I think that's more to speak with their experience in that position, try to humanize and give the person whom you're interviewing the benefit of the doubt. And that's certainly anything but the fifth estate or citizen journalism, but there's a place for it. There's a place for acting, being pretentious, and that's where it is, the CBC. They'll probably give you your own show. Now, Janice, how dare you come in here and start spewing all of that? Well, they must have really progressed if they're saying it's now criminal. What do you mean here, Janice? You coming in here, you're a newbie, you're throwing around these claims. So what are you saying? It's now switched from a missing persons case to a criminal case? Well, how do we know that? How do you know that? Come on now. Or are you just loosely saying what we're all saying anyway, and what Rob McCammon was saying already in his interview? Is that what you're coming in here telling us about? Because I think Rob McCammon does a good job in really acknowledging the criminal aspect of this situation without saying it in that sense. And he's explaining why it's a better position to be when it comes to gathering evidence and following up leads and searching digital forensics. It's easier for them to get less intensive in order to get a better picture of what was going on. And that picture is starting to fill itself in. Helicopter Grandma says, in my opinion, there were 3 adults on that property. Jack and Lily lived in a terrible, toxic, hateful home and property. They were all responsible, in your opinion, and more people, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I think it's time that we can be more specific, Helicopter Grandma. There's going to be an incident. Do we as a collective believe that the kids made it home? Are we, for the sake of the conversation, going to just take it into consideration for the sake of the greater story that the kids did make it home and there was an incident at home? Or did the incident happen when they were away from home and they came home with an issue that they had to deal with? There's Danny with the lobster claw. Oh, look at that. It's so good, Kent. I had that in mind when I was thinking of you. We'll deal with it. The RCMP do not mince words, you're saying? They say what they say. They do not say it was now a criminal investigation, unless you know something we don't. Yeah. No, I was just looking a while ago, and there's nothing to suggest that. So, I don't know, Janice. I've given you all kinds of time to answer. Are you going to answer us in chat? Or are we just going to take advantage that you're here and you're just friendly? You're friendly? Or is this a holly jolly sock account? Like, really, how dare you? How dare you come in here with that nonsense? We almost fell for it. Janice, was that said in their last interview, or is this something new? Oh, Janice doesn't want to answer. Hit and run. Wow, thanks for the information, Janice. One moment, what are you saying? Oh, I can be more specific. They did not make it home, or something happened the night before. DM turned the lights on at midnight, but I don't believe one word they say. Right. So if we're gonna, the cops aren't gonna sit in a forever pool of that. They'll just charge them all with the same thing. And sort it out on the stand. Yeah, you might get some disruptions, Gen Nova, for a little bit if my sound's cutting out. Having some interruptions. Just a sec, we'll let it clear. My sound's really cutting out. Test 1 2 5 7 8 9. What effing moron turns the light in a kid's room on at midnight? Well, I don't know if that's actually true. That's just something Daniel said. I don't know if that actually happened. See, it's more likely that he just said it in response to something. It's nowhere in the paperwork. It's an adaptation. But I agree with you, he did say it, because I believe he said it in that sense. I've seen the screenshots. But did that really happen? You know what I'm saying? He says a lot of shit in that sense. And it's already to the point where it could only be one indication, or one thing it's indicating. Daniel said himself it was heading to criminal, didn't he, AB? Esther, I guess that's true too. Well, no, not. I guess he loosely, yeah, I guess he brought it up. He suggested it. I mean, it was a question, but nobody's really answering any questions directly in that sense. There's a whole lot of not saying anything. But within that, there's all kinds of things that you can tell. He's shitting his pants. He's a little worried. Hold on. Let me pull up some Janie right now.
Years or so. Due to because my neighbor, which I'm not going to mention, is known for stealing property. And that was one thing that I did not want him to take. And I also want to mention too, someone, I can't tell you who, has broken in, when Daniel and I were away, has broken in to our trailer and have taken a few things. I'm not going to say what they are, but have taken a few things.
Here, I found this. Dragon Blaze 5555 says, I don't get the anger towards Kent. He organized some merch and sold it for awareness like many people do. Oh yeah, many people do that, do they? Wrong, tard. If he had the money, he probably would have donated it all. Did he misspend it? 2 words. Any YouTubers that have gained followers or money since covering this case could be argued as profit from it unless they're donating all the proceeds since May 2nd to a fund or organization. I don't know what fantasy world this idiot lives in. You're here listening to us talk about it. That doesn't have anything to do with the case. This is the awareness that you're spreading. You're pimping what we're already doing. Helicopter Grandma, thank you, darling. I said, no, not even close. Kent is a scumbag, enabler, like you are, loser. Shit. Used that term the other day. It's stuck in my head. That's a good term for it. That's how she speaks about the kids. Absolutely. As though the whole process of them being back, including Meadow, is intrusive. Combine that with a sense of entitlement that comes through her and this perceived rights that she has as a grandmother of these people is just a reason in her own mind where she can impose her will on old Malaya in Meadow, the new baby. Could you imagine old Janie giving you advice about feeding babies and changing and things like that, rearing babies? Coochie coochie coo. The only thing Janie and babies have in common is the fact that they both look good in onesies. Janie has got 3 Timu onesies. One of them's a Super Mario Brothers outfit. Yoshi. And H, covert narcissists hate being fought. Even children, my mom was effing that way. Or their effing way. Or that effing way. What lie? It's a dump. The RV and the mobile home. Let's not forget about the filthy yard. Well, dude, that's something. There's something going on there. Everybody's mental health in that place was suffering. And the problem here is it's all voluntary. It's all self-induced. Absolutely it is. There's substance abusers, and then there's mom. She doesn't know how else to handle it. She probably just believed everything Daniel was telling her. She's sick of being lied to. That's the way Earl sounds like. You know, remember Earl's message? I'm sure that message was about Danny. It's shocking Danny and his brother survived childhood at this rate. Meredith, I don't know. I wish I knew a lot more. I mean, it's difficult getting to know somebody like this, like we get to know Janie, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, it's such an interesting exercise in psychology. Like, she must really be in a lot of emotional distress in my mind. That's the way I look at Janie. Like, she is so bothered by something and she's affected by it, and she's at such staunch denial about things that she's suppressing that it can't help but affect her, and it manifests in the way that forces her to look so off on a camera. Anything but natural. She's not natural. She's being driven by this secondary cognitive load of hers, and it's affecting her physiology. Why? Probably because at some level we can all relate to that feeling, how that feels, and how it would feel to be in Janie's situation. No matter how, many of us probably don't want to put ourselves there, but we do nonetheless in our minds. It's a curiosity. There's got to be something in our effing water here. We're all goddamn nutters. No, I don't think that. I think it's, there's some places that just can get a certain way because of the lack of population. Listen, the East Coast is a great place. Friendliest people in the world. They're great for the most part, but there's bad aspects to every part of society everywhere. And this is one of those lesser aspects of human nature and society, that doesn't get any darker or lower. At some level, there's some humanity here we can relate to, whether it be the uncontrollable rage that Daniel is so hard to try to avoid, that drove him to unalive 2 children. These are the things that people are in the chat to seek to understand along the way, and it's frustrating. We know why. We know why Daniel is lying. It's still an amazing thing to witness and watch him try to get away with this. And he won't. If you were innocent, the CBC wouldn't be focused on you. Number one, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in if you were innocent. The truth would speak for itself. And the fact that you're doing all you can to alter and obscure the truth from this situation, all in efforts where you prioritize your own innocence above and beyond above or over committing to what you think even happened to Jack and Lily and what you think should happen to the people who are responsible for that. Yeah, there is a group of people actively trying to cover this up. Daniel's coming full circle and identifying and talking about himself in the third person, and it came through the article the other day. He slipped. Because you can say there is a group of people that are involved in the cover-up. You would have to be an idiot to know that you guys aren't covering up. And that's what makes Derwood so goddamn suspicious. There's a reason for that. You needed his services. You could see Darren as being just the know-it-all individual, the Dunning-Kruger effect at work here. Yeah, I'll help you out. I can get rid of these things. I'll take control. Just because Darren's that type of person. Could you imagine the power that you would have over 2 people if you knew that you just assisted them in disposing of 2 bodies and you know how desperate of a situation they're in? You want to talk about extortion? That's just the type of thing that Darren Geddes would be involved in, would love to have over somebody else's head. Just as beneficial to the guy with the information. It doesn't have to be a nasty exchange. It's just a little reminder that he knows all of your darkest secrets every now and then. Kind of like what the Epstein files are in the media right now. Oh yeah, Norbeaster, you live in Sydney, way out in Cape Breton? I'd like to move out there, to be honest with you. Probably sounds silly to somebody who lives there. But I say that about a lot of places. Especially when I like to go on Google Earth and go to places, especially up in northern Canada. It's like the craziest fucking places that you've ever seen. And every time I've got to keep reminding myself that this land is owned by polar bears. It wouldn't be all that fun of a trip to go up there and visit. I'll stick it out, Michelle. You might be buffering. We're going through a bit of a thing here. Stream health poor. There's something. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I apologize tonight. I did all the protocols. I usually reset my router. There's still something. I didn't reboot my computer, and I probably should have done. Yeah, it's starting to do it a lot more in the last few minutes. I did get some dropped frame notifications. Dropped frames detected over the past few minutes. Why it's doing that, I don't know. I'm going to try to stick it out, though, so just be patient, friends. You grew up in Wolfville, Meredith? Yeah, I'm back. I didn't go anywhere there, Michelle. I'm sorry you guys are having to go through that. It drives me nuts as the guy putting it down the stream. It's not like I'm doing anything different. It's just... I wonder if it's something with my VPN. I don't know. Norbeaster says it's a nice place he'd be, but it's hard to find work If you can secure housing, you are good. Yeah, it's like any place right now, Norbeaster. We'll come there and live off the land like Daniel. If Daniel could do it, maybe I'll move into Patty's house. Heard she's got a room for rent. I'll come down there and make my way in. I heard you're looking for a new man. Lynn says, and she was going to put in a swimming pool right by her RV where the kids play and squeal despite having a dog like that, and sang. Yeah, we all know she's full of shit though, Lynn. This whole pool story is just a way for her to take the focus away and distract something that doesn't exist. You know, it's like some other guy. It's like reaching out there and using something that isn't real